least 2 more to go. Can I check, are you presenting now?
Yes, I think I am. It is Saad Shahid. Yes,
Fantastic,
it is
great.
perfect.
So we
Great.
can switch things up a bit.
It's absolutely all right.
The floor is
Yeah.
all yours.
We're picking things up.
We did start it late, sir. You're not late, sir.
That's not I'm just going to be saying that. I'm sure it's the second half of the day, and it's just a few days, like when are we going to get our coffee and walk in the sun outside?
No, no. We're here with you for sure.
That's all. A very good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a really good day. So am I. This is my second time at ROGE. I think once it was 7th and now it's 12th. So it has really outgrown itself, the conference itself. So I'm really having a good time. My research is, I'm from the Lahore School of Economics and an assistant professor under the chair of marketing and brand management. But most of my research has been revolving around marketing and branding and how to manage brand modern work, both online and offline. My research this month is about my PhD. One of my PhD papers was one of these research, and it is based on brand positioning effectiveness in fashion retail, both fashion retail and retail. So we wanted to find out of all the brand positioning strategies that there are, which one of them is most effective, especially with the upsurge of digital media and the kind of money that goes into digital media and the complexity of it all, digital media and public relations. There was so much effort in terms of human effort, skilled effort, and also monetary effort that used to go into running brands, advertising them and communicate a very clear message towards the end consumers as to what the brand wants you to perceive as. And then the dilemma came in when there was controlled marketing, which was broadcast, radio and television, and out-of-home advertising, which was one-way narrative, and it further complexed when digital media came in. So you guys have the institutional power now. You guys had blogs, you guys had independent forums, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You guys had a say. So now brands could control some part of the narrative, but not all of it. So we really wanted to find out where should we actually put all our efforts into communicating brand positioning to make sure that which one of them is most effective and why we wasting then investing resources into others. So each one of these so the entire research is going to revolve around the effectiveness of this all. Most of the time, okay. Now, just a contextual scenario to go around this conversation. Especially, this research is based on Pakistani context. However, I can even give you context for UK. I mean, do you recognize London Oxford Street Dockland? Iconic building disappeared. It was just the one I've noticed. Most of the brands, even UK upscale or high street brands, have now either become in mall experience. 3 Zara's Oxford Street now dropped down to 2. 2 River Islands now dropped down to 1. Just like that, retail industry in Pakistan predicted that there's going to be a downward growth for all the fashion retail brands between 2019 and 2024. And this was predicted. So I thought that I might just help this. I have a marketing agency here. So this research could also help my agency clients also. So that's what I wanted to find out for them. And later, the objective of this was, and this is one of the prime valuations for this research is that we had 2 independent models. One of them was talking about 3 brand positioning strategies: benefit, surrogate, and feature brand positioning strategy, and their impact on overall brand positioning. Then we divided this into more complex model, which was 3 brand positioning strategies and its impact on all the dimensions of brand positioning effectiveness. So not only this paper addresses that how it affects overall brand positioning, each one of the strategies, it also further breaks it down that which one of the 5 dimensions of effectiveness, which one of these 5 will work most effectively with each one of the brand positioning strategies. So you could see an overall picture of the entire model that was empirically later tested, but you will also find out that if we want to pick up each dimension, which one should we actually work on as an advertiser? And later, we also find out statistically, are these brand positioning strategies really poles apart, or do they overlap statistically or no? So we later wanted to also find out that whether there's an overlap between each one of the strategies or no. Theoretically, the contribution is immense because most of the research done so far until 2022 was about brand positioning strategy, yes, but overall. Effectiveness, overall. There wasn't a breakdown in detail. Methodologically, most of the papers were either qualitative or if they were quantitative, it was basic quantitative analysis. There wasn't a lot of rigor associated with them. So there are about, based on content analysis, there are over 60,000 papers in Science Direct alone about brand positioning. So based on that content analysis, we realized that structural equation modeling based on EFA, CFA, and data path analysis was third of that rigor when it comes to methodological contribution. And just a few minutes ago, I explained you contextually, both Pakistan and UK were now trying to shift. Like Document still exists, for example, but it only exists via ASOS, which is a multi-brand store, or it also exists in an independent website also. Brick and mortar stores are kind of going away, especially post-COVID, people realize that, and most of the consumers did build trust into online shopping anyway. Recent questions, I have more or less addressed each one of them, and I'll break them down to you as well. But it is basically about brand positioning strategies and its impact, brand positioning strategies, impact on individual dimensions, and how statistically they're very different. Also, better brand positioning strategies you will learn it would be around when you see ads, but they show you the benefits of using a product. So, for example, if you wear good, for example, there's a brand in the most successful brand in Africa, origin is Africa, it's called Mr. Price. So they always capitalize on how your life choices in terms of lifestyle and fashion would make you so socially acceptable. So your fashion choices are your acceptable choices by the society and reference group influences. So this one shows you benefits. Surrogate brand positioning strategy is now where the world is getting at. Fair trade, organic color dyes, sustainable clothing, only human, each one of the monitoring of the supply chain and then incorporating into branding. So it's about symbolism, love, care, passion, peace. And feature brand positioning, more so an old phenomenon, but not as much seen right now. But so for example, it talks about how, and it's mostly prevalent in FMCG. So how Cerelac is now preferred as meat tart, for example. How a chemical composition of a particular product is now favored and brands advertise based on that. It then talks about effectiveness and it's about the essence of the brand and how it leads to its effectiveness. Each one of the dimensions are these: favorability, dissimilarity, sustainability, credibility. Favorability is about how, as a consumer, do you think that brand A is more favorable than the other? Dissimilarity is you go to brands in the UK, Bershka, Pull&Bear, Topman, Next, H&M. Do you see jeans that look alikes, or do they look different? So how dissimilar in your mind the product stands, how unique the product is. Do you think it's very different from another brand? And credibility is, do you trust it enough? And also sustainability is your brand cannot be copiable. Your brand positioning is so strong that it doesn't get copied by anyone else. Usually happens in upscale brands like LV, Armani, but not high street brands. All that I want, this is exactly what I'm going to tell you, but in a more diagrammatical form, which is easy to understand and is not heavy on time. The sampling was universities, 196 registered under Higher Education Commission, dropped them down to purposive sampling, which is 76 private universities because they could afford high street shopping. Then drop down to very systematically to registered universities, drop it down to emailing it to registrars, registrars emailing it to undergrad and graduate students, and we got the responses back 6 or 7. Again, some relevant information about where the instrument was adapted and reworded from. Some preliminary data checks, non-response bias, content validity, and common method variance, followed by statistical analysis with structured equation modeling in AMOS, confirmatory factor analysis first, then followed by path analysis to understand whether our model was statistically significant or not. Again, easy to understand now. There were 2 models. One which dealt brand positioning strategy as a first order variable, and the other one that was dealing it as a second order construct. We'll talk about first order simpler variable first. So for talking about the model fitting thesis, it really fit well as far as NFI, CFI, GLI, and RMSCA are concerned. So it was a good fit. As far as factor loading, there should be more than 29, but I will skip this for now because I'll come to the interesting part. This one, dealing with it as a second order variable. Discriminant validity holds. It was perfect when it comes to discriminant validity since they were all less than 1. Again, discriminant validity, but as a second order construct. Now, this is a path analysis where brand positioning strategies, overall brand positioning effectiveness, each one of them was supported. But you'll find it very interesting because based on this, we would then invest, each brand would invest with benefit brand positioning, surrogate, and feature, and then try to communicate positioning. But theoretically, I cannot confuse my consumer. So they cannot watch an ad that communicates 3 types of brand positioning that it's going to be cognitive dissonance in their head. So again, useless. So we then break it down and we say, how is each one of the dimensions being supported? And we found variable results, of course. Brand positioning strategy, variable dimensions. Feature, dimensions. Surrogate, then dimensions. And in the end, we found out that surrogate brand positioning strategy, which is based on symbolism, and idealistic behavior, where brand is based on human personalities and human traits, they are most likable by brands. Feature brand positioning, okay, relatable, but not for fashion industry perhaps. But surrogacy is where the word is getting at. That's exactly why even in Zara and H&M, 5% of their inventory, sustainable. All the rest, not so sustainable. But works good for branding. Gimmick or no, we don't know, but we're getting there somewhere at least. Okay? Just like Zara has also a branding technique returns the view of your own clothes, and it's based on charity. So each one of them, stand alone, give us a wholesome picture. Okay, and surrogate brand positioning strategy came out to be more interesting, followed by benefit brand positioning strategy. But when you talk individually, as far as the dimensions are concerned, not all of them were favorable. So brands, most consumers were more responsive towards sustainability dimension. It is clarity dimension and uniqueness as a dimension. For the rest of the 2 dimensions, the relationships came out to be weak. As far as carrying this research forward is concerned, I think we should definitely look into some online shopping now. Because even in Pakistan and UK, so many years ago, you guys have confidence in online shopping. So we want to see how does now brand positioning plays a role and how can we communicate a narrative to online consumers in particular. And for example, specialty clothing like maternity. What about kids wear? Because kids wear globally contributes most to the GDP contribution when it comes to textile and fashion retail. Global. Also, what about hybrid brand positioning strategy, where 2 brand positioning strategies are combined into one? Because most of the time, benefit and surrogate, consumers also confuse between the 2. They can't sit down and decipher between the 2, so brands sometimes use the 2. And this is how we can find out how the combination of brand positioning strategy can lead to an effective ad campaign. Yes, so that's how the study ends.